In Jerusalem there is the Wailing Wall, the only remnant of the Jewish temple, a place where Jews pray and lament the loss of their spiritual center. In the Berlin that Bowie found in 1976 there was a different kind of wall, but it, too, was a symbol of sadness and loss. After World War II, the powers divided Germany between them, and Berlin fell in East Germany, in the communist zone. Unwilling to let the Soviets have sole control over the symbolic cultural place, the Western powers secured part of the city, henceforth known as West Berlin, to belong to the democratic West Germany, with a safe corridor connecting them. This served as a door for millions of East Germans to flee to the West, and the communists realized they will eventually be left with no people. In 1961 they built a wall around West Berlin, separating it completely from the other parts, tearing families and friends apart. So the people of West Berlin were encircled all around by a wall, and living under constant fear of communist takeover. And yet, they were actually the ones that were better off, as the people of East Berlin were living under increasing oppression. The Berlin that Bowie found was a sad place, where people who were once together could communicate with each other only through a barrier, and under the watchful eye of the guards. Like the Wailing Wall, the Berlin Wall became a symbol of extreme sorrow, and this sorrow can be heard in Weeping Wall. But the way I hear it, it is not the residents of Berlin who are weeping by the wall, but the wall itself that is weeping for the city. The weeping is represented by xylophones, vibraphones, and other percussive instruments that create the effect of falling tears, but at the bottom of it there is a steady synthesizer pulse, which, in the language created by Eno and Bowie, represents not humans, but the urban environment. Listening to the music, you can almost imagine yourself standing by the wall and seeing it shedding tears, and you can hear the scream coming from somewhere inside it. It is a sad piece, but also cathartic and cleansing. The effect is achieved by bringing together influences from the two musical worlds that Low traverses. The instrumental texture is clearly indebted to the works of minimalist avant-garde composer Stephen Reich, such as music for mallet instruments, voices and organ, while the combination of a repetitive keyboard chord with the anguished scream of an electric guitar is reminiscent of Roxy Music's Chance Meeting, another record that deals with alienation. The screaming melody, first played on the electric guitar and then howled by Bowie, sounds like it is based on the traditional folk ballad Scarborough Fair, a resonance which infuses another symbolic layer into the record. The most famous rendering of that song in pop was done by Simon and Garfunkel, who combined it with another song called Canticle. Scarborough Fair is a song about a man who sends a messenger to his former lover to ask her to perform some impossible tasks for him, telling her that if she succeeds, he will take her back. Canticle, written by Paul Simon himself, is a song about soldiers going to war for a reason they long forgot. The song also indicates that it is against our nature. The war is set against a beautiful natural background that is alien to anything that has to do with war. But humans, instead of loving each other and living in harmony according to nature, hurt their loved ones and build walls between them. The message seems to be that it is this type of stupid petty things we hear in Scarborough Fair that leads us to the War of Canticle, not some grand causes. In Weeping Wall it seems that it is not nature but the city that wants to be united in harmony, but is instead divided by the humans that populate it. The Berlin Wall feels the sorrow of the people on both its sides, and weeps for them.